Okay, so right now I am cruising in the new 2018 Ford Mustang GT. This one has the new 10-speed automatic transmission that Ford is now putting in all of their vehicles, I believe. I know it's especially a big deal for people driving the Mustang because this thing is super quick. Now, I will say this, on takeoff, at least in the experience that I've had just now driving it, it doesn't kick in right away. There's a little bit of a delay and then it kicks in, and after it kicks in, it pulls through all the gears. So you have no problem whatsoever getting up to any speed that you want to, and it'll be definitely faster than a manual transmission. Now, if I put it into a different mode right now, I'm cruising in Sport Plus. I also did it in normal. Now if I go into track mode, maybe I go into drag mode, it'll be a little bit different. I know with drag mode you're going to have your launch controls. I know that this year that the engine has been bumped up from 430 to 460 horsepower out of the engine. The engine bay looks a little bit different. You have a larger engine cover that sits up there right now. It kind of almost looks like an upside down T when you're looking at it from the front of the engine. Or new digital display, which is pretty neat. It is an option. I know I myself and some other people thought that, hey, you know what, that's going to be standard in all the Mustangs. It's not standard in all the Mustangs. Actually, it's an add-on. Now, one thing that is another add-on that is kind of cool that we have for the new 2018 Mustang is the active exhaust. You can set it in a quiet mode. You can set it in normal, you can set it in track, which I have it in right now, so you get a louder tone out of the vehicle. If you want to set to quiet when you wake up in the morning, you can actually set timers for this so you don't wake up your neighbors when you leave or when you come home. In terms of just a normal takeoff, as you can hear, it pulls and then drops down, and you can hear it going through the rev matching and downshifting. If you get on the gas hard and then get on the brakes hard, it's more of a violent downshift than like I had previously said, but still it all really depends on how you use the car and how you're trying to get it to perform. The car's got a nice sound to it, a real nice sound to it. One of the things that most people disliked about the 15 to 17 was just how quiet the GT was. And most of that came from the big bulky resonator that sat underneath the vehicle. First thing people would do, cut out the resonator, and then you end up having a louder car. I think maybe Ford downgraded, I don't want to say downgraded, but perhaps they changed the size or the design of that so people don't have to cut it out and put an X-pipe or H-pipe in just to get a good V8 sound. So now we're down into where we can manually shift ourselves. It was cruising in 10th gear, so you hear downshifting. So still pretty smooth shifts. Nothing jerky about it. Pulls nice, real quick too. Even on the downshift, you don't really feel it that much. I've always been a manual transmission person, and I'll still be a manual transmission person, even if I were to get an 18. But I'm not going to knock this automatic. This thing operates really, really well. If you read any reviews, see any other videos about this car, everybody loves these new transmissions. I mean, it sounds really cool, and that's the best thing about a sports car. If it can make you giggle, you know that you have yourself a nice car. Quick pull. And as you can see, slows immediately right back down. You hear the rev matching. It pulls pretty hard once it gets into those upper gears and the thing really catches. You really feel it pull you back, and it's pulling through all of the gears, which I think is just freaking sweet. One of the best parts of a sports car is just that feeling that you get, that guttural feeling of it throwing you back and pulling you the whole way. Like, you know what? If this thing wanted to, it could kill me.